Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading Neuvillette Listener by me. So let's get into it. You were supposedly a Mondstadian, or so you thought, and you thought that as well. But it turned out you were an Oceanid, and you found that a little bit too late. Here's how he remembers it. It was right after they found out that the primordial water could be used to dissolve individuals. But since then, he's had no reason to worry over you. You're perfectly capable, and most importantly, you will never be threatened by such things. You're a human who's not from Fontaine, and only Fontanians could be threatened by such things, as he has seen with that previous Montcedian. But it turns out that things were quite different than what he imagined them to be. Instead, you found out that you were a Fontanian in the worst way possible. The both of you were journeying in Fontaine when you found out that you had an errand to run, and you told Neuvillette to wait for you, and for the most part he agreed to wait, except you were taking an absurd amount of time for such a small errand. He was not impatient, no, but he was simply worried, and went to seek you out of worry. And that's when he found out what was going on. You were fighting with your assailant, someone who had been trying to attack you, and you were rather careless when they threatened you with primordial water. Neuvillette prepared to attack them, to subdue them, but you were in the way, and he needed a moment to know how to attack without causing you injury. But it was all a moment too late when that man spilled that water on you, and you were beginning to dissolve right before his eyes. And in that one moment, he reached out to touch you, and he was transported somewhere else. A very familiar place, the Opera Epiclese. And you saw you there, surrounded by Oceanids. You are a part of us. You will not leave us. Some of them said. You don't even know any of them, but they all seemed pretty vehement on you remaining with them. You didn't know what was going on. All this yelling. In that 1 second that you had been transported, it felt like an hour or more, as the Oceanids passed their judgment on you. But all in one moment that Neuvillette reached out to touch you, and he was then on his place, on his chair, as the Eudex. Order! Please refrain from such behavior in the court. The case shall be dismissed for lack of evidence. Any further assault of any innocent person in this room will not be tolerated. The court shall adjourn for the rest of the day, he said, looking at you and reaching out with his hand. Come with me, please. Do not wait any longer, Ryan, he said, with all the impartiality that he always carried in court. There was always that love that you've seen, that you've known from him. So familiar and so right, because that is all you've seen from Neuvillette. Nothing but love and care. And then, as you reach out and your hands touch his own, suddenly you're back. Maybe it was due to him being part of the primordial sea that he was able to save you. But now, you were back again. You hadn't fully finished dissolving, and maybe that 1 split second was all that he needed to save you. You were in his arms, and that man who had tried touching you with the primordial water accidentally dissolved himself. Neuvillette could not care about him. He could not. You were innocent. He did not deserve this. But it seemed fitting that the world would pass its judgment on a cruel person like that, even without Neuvillette uttering a single word. How befitting of justice to also serve as an actor. It did not matter much for him, now that you were safe. There was a lot that he needed to know, a lot that he probably had discovering to do. But right now it didn't matter as much as you being in his arms. For now, he just needed to make sure you'd be okay. And as he held you, rubbing your back gently, as it trembled in his arms, nothing but relief flooded his bones and his heart. He was simply happy and glad that you were safe and alright, that nothing bad was happening to you. Nothing but relief could be felt within you as well. But after it was all over, he took you home, caring for you for the rest of the day. After all, the events of being in such a place, being judged in that manner, and being almost killed by someone, it must have been terrifying, and you needed the rest. And as for Neuvillette, he wanted to take care of you, to give you something, for he too felt it was too close to losing you, and his heart had beat louder than ever within his chest. He was terrified, and he never wants to experience anything like that again. It was the worst thing he's ever felt, and something that he never ever wants to feel, not once again in his life. So, for now, as he takes care of you, he will make sure that he never gives to anyone the opportunity to do anything like that again. Nobody. Because right now, he's here. And he knows the truth of who you are. It's surprising you did not know. But it did not matter that much. For all he knew, he would love you no matter what you were, or who you are, or where you came from. Such trivial matters they were, and yet it was due to them that your life was in danger at the end. And he will make sure not to overlook anything about you ever again.